Broadcasting live from Shibuya, Tokyo, this is your host, Aaron Randall. Welcome to American Hot Topics. Today we're going to talk about various and new items that are hot and trending in America. Things that are most commonly unknown to Japanese. Today's program is brought to you by Kotobanku.
この番組は某国立大学で英語を教えているアーロンと英語学習中のジュンがお送りいたします。
This week we're going to talk about The Walking Dead and Guantanamo Bay.
皆さんお分かりでしょうか？アーロンがジングルを作ってこなかったことを。ちなみにこの変な音、アーロンの謎の特技なんですけど、これ口笛じゃなくてですね、でもなんか口を微妙に閉じて震わせることによってトランペット感を出すっていう、ということで今週の予備選の動きをお伝えします。
Alright, so with the Republicans, we had Donald Trump win at the Republican primary in Nevada with 45%. And Mark Rubio and Ted Cruz followed each at around 22%. With the Democrats, the most recent Democratic primary was held in South Carolina. The winner is still yet to be decided, but it looks like it will be Hillary Clinton. The reason being, Hillary has been campaigning a lot in South Carolina, while Bernie Sanders is looking towards Minnesota, Colorado, and Illinois, where he has a better shot of winning. Next week, we'll get back to you with the results of the Democratic primaries in South Carolina.So, June, I can't stop watching this show. It's called The Walking Dead. Have you seen it?
見ました。
Oh, did you like it?
ちなみになぜいきなりこの話が始まったかっていうと先週ジカウイルスの話しましたよね。でその収録後にやっぱり血と感染みたいな話で、ジカウイルスは全く関係ないんですけどゾンビ映画の話になりまして
Yes, I've become quite obsessed with The Walking Dead recently.
そうでアーロンさんが一人ネッチが止まらないみたいなことを言ってたんで私も見てみたんですけど、ちょっと申し訳ないですけど現時点であんまりピンときてないっていう。
Really?
逆にどこがそんなにいいんですか？てかアメリカでは大人気なんですよね、でも。
Oh, it is way too popular in America. So I'm sure there are a lot of people out there that don't know a lot about The Walking Dead. So let's do a simple introduction. So The Walking Dead is an American horror drama series developed by Frank Darabont. It's actually based off of a comic book by the same name.
そうショーシャンクの空とかミストの巨匠ダラボンさんですよね。
Yes.So it stars Andrew Lincoln, who plays the show's lead character. He's a sheriff deputy, Rick Grimes, who awakens from a months-long coma to confront a post-apocalyptic world overrun by zombies. Grimes reunites with his family and becomes the leader of a group he forms with other survivors. Together, they struggle to survive in and adapt to a world filled with zombies, and some humans who are even more dangerous than the zombies themselves. Premiering in 2010, The Walking Dead has had constantly high ratings, growing in the millions year by year. Syndicated on the American TV channel AMC, Season 1 had an average of 5.24 million viewers per episode. By Season 5 in 2014, the show averaged 14.4 million viewers per episode. So The Walking Dead tripled its average ratings over a 4-year period.
4年間で3倍ってすごいですよね。
Yeah, that's incredible. And quite rare, right? For such a long-running show.
そう言われちゃったらもっと見てみざるを得ないですけどね。
Yeah, this show is amazing, man.Personally, I find this show very interesting for the following reasons. At its core, it's a drama that explores how humans would behave being put in extreme conditions.
極限状態。
Yes. In the case of The Walking Dead, very regular people are faced with an end-of-the-world scenario. They must deal with the reality that society and the world they used to know have changed, and they must adapt.If only the strong survive a zombie apocalypse, then amongst the strong, the crazy will lead, according to The Walking Dead. Much like Mad Max, the craziest of the crazy become the new leaders of the new world.
そんな世界になったら我々のような文化系は一瞬で死にますよね。
Yeah, definitely.
なんかさ、文化系人間のポジションって年齢とともに頑張って築き上げていくところあるじゃないですか。
Right. It's kind of like when we were in elementary school, the guys who were fast or athletic were the most popular.
そう。
And then, middle school and high school, those who could play guitar were popular.
で大学ぐらいになると賢いやつがモテるっていう、それがまた覆されるってことだよね。
Exactly. The lead character, Grimes, and their group, however, are trying hard to maintain their old way of life. Another great theme from the show is people change. The people who were janitors or policemen before the world ended are the new warriors, the protectors, and sometimes the new evil. people form groups to protect each other. Groups get disconnected, leaders die, new leaders rise up, and then new leadership gives rise to uprising within the groups. One group may be reluctant to let outsiders in their group and may even have to decide whether or not to kill the outsider for survival. There was one episode where they found a stranded young child and let him into the group, but they realized in doing so, they revealed their base's location. So they had to decide whether or not to kill the child in order to protect themselves. So I'm kind of feeling you're not really interested in any of this, or?
いやなんか現時点で僕最初のシーズンの第3話ぐらいまでしか見てないんですけど、気になったのはテンポ感なんですよね、ドラマゆえの。
Right.
極限状態の人間の振る舞いが描かれるっていうのは、その自分の人生を振り返る機会を与えてくれるっていうのは非常にわかるんですけど、考えたことないことを考えさせてくれるっていうか、で例えばこの番組で言うとプラトーンの虐殺シーンの話したじゃないですか。
Right. When the mentally and physically fatigued American soldiers almost killed all of the people in a nearby village, right? Well, this is just the behavior of humans put in extreme conditions.
そうそうそう。あとウォーキングデッドの制作のフランク・ダラボンのミストとかまさにそういう映画ですけど、化け物あり仲間割れあり殺し合いありみたいな、こういうのはもちろん大好きなんですけど、なんか劇薬じゃないですか。個人的にはたまに見るからこういうのはいいわけであって、ずっとシーズン5とか6までそこにいたくないっていうか、ホームランドみたいに謎が解けていく感じがあるんだったらまだずっと見てようとは思うんですけど。
Well, actually, a lot of people like The Walking Dead for this exact reason. The characters are in a constant state of panic, right? There is no real solution for the zombie apocalypse. No solution, no relief.No catharsis.
M かよっていうね。いや、わかるんですけどね、その不条理の魅力は。だから2時間なら耐えられるけど、でもずっとちょっときつくないっていうことを今思ってます。
But isn't it incredible that they've had a zombie-themed show go on for this long?
いや、まあ、そうだと思いますけどね。あともう一つ、ゾンビだわーいと思って見ると、最近のゾンビ映画と比べてアクションの密度が低くないですか？ネットフリックスでドーン・オブ・ザ・デッドのリメイク今見れますけど、ドーン・オブ・ザ・デッドの上演時間たった100分です。100分で元々の平穏な生活でアウトブレイク、主人公の孤立、モールでの立てこもり生活でいろんな人間関係や殺し合いで脱出に伴うアクション、脱出後の結末っていうともう瞬きする間もないぐらいなんですけど、ウォーキングデッドも最初の2話の90分使って大体同じ流れじゃないですか。でもアクションの激しさと流れてる血の量が全然違いますからね。ゾンビ走りませんし。
But The Walking Dead is not just a zombie show. The show explores more of the human drama that develops in an end-of-the-world scenario. It moves very quickly from a human versus zombie conflict to a human versus human conflict.So obviously the first and most obvious theme depicted in The Walking Dead and other zombie movies is how the world changes after a pandemic. Although The Walking Dead uses zombies as a cause for the pandemic, the show does a good job of pushing the zombie conflict more in the background, allowing it to explore human conflict in the case of any pandemic. For example, the human conflict experienced by the characters in The Walking Dead could have arisen from nuclear fallout, disease.After season 2, the humans become very proficient at killing the zombies and become very resourceful in the new world infested with them. They stop using guns so much, as the noise from guns attracts zombies. They move to using hammers and sharp objects to pull off quick and quiet kills.
なるほどね。人間対ゾンビの話じゃなくて人間対人間の話だと。
Exactly.
だからロメロ型のその古式ゆかしい歩くゾンビ、タイトルの通りのウォーキングデッドってことですよね。
Yes,
確かに走ってくるゾンビだとさ、もうなんかゾンビが強すぎて人間ドラマを展開する余地がないっていう感じあるじゃないですか。
Right, yeah.
歩くゾンビだと、まだ人間を生かさず殺さず、まだ人間がやっつけられる余地がありますもんね。
And, you know, running zombies are just stupid anyways.
いや、それゾンビ差別だよ。俺は好きだけどね。ちょっと脱線しますけど、歩いてるゾンビを撃ち殺すっていうシーズン1の最初のエピソードを見て、僕すごいゾンビゲームを思い出したんですよね。ハウス・オブ・ザ・デッドっていうやつをすごい昔やってまして。
Dude, I know that game.
あ、そうなの？セガのやつですよ。
Actually, I know it from the arcades.
アメリカでも流行ってたの？
It was really popular when I was in middle school. Dude, I used to be so good at this game. My friends and I would go to the mall on Friday nights to play this game during our mall rat era.
モールラットエラー。
Yeah, so mall rats are normally young middle schoolers who have nowhere else to go but the mall. So we used to skateboard to the mall in middle school, hang out around the movie theaters, and play video games at the arcades until late at night. Right, so I actually beat House of the Dead 2 in middle school. I think it took my friend and I 2 hours and a lot of quarters. but we probably got through it because we cheated on, how we held the guns.
はいはいはい。
You can actually hold it like this and kind of push your finger really fast.
わかるわかる。なんか変な持ち方、独自の持ち方を開発したんでしょ。
Yes, yes, yes.
それはすごいですね。親近感が湧きますね。僕も中学校の頃、放課後部活サボって、ドンキでお菓子買って、ゾンゾンゾン、ゾンビとか言いながらゲーセンに行ってひたすらやってたというか、あんまお金なかったんで、人がゾンビを殺してるところを見ているっていう。これ。
Oh, that's the one, that's the one.
なんかちょっとタイトルの出し方とか映画のセブンの影響とかが見て取れるよね。そのライドアトラクションみたいにその決まったルートで画面が進行していって、でとにかくゾンビを撃つっていう。トイストーリーマニアとかランドのライド&ゴーシークのゾンビ版ですね。
Yeah, I remember it kind of like automatically pushed you through the level, right? Like a ride.
そうですそうです、何の話してるんですかね。ウォーキングデッドに関して言うと、じゃあそのゾンビ映画っていうのはいろんな要素があると、そのホラーとか SF とかディザスターとかアクションコメディいろいろあるけど、僕はちょっとホラーものの期待でウォーキングデッド見てたんですけど、そうじゃないと。ウォーキングデッドにおいてそもそもゾンビは人間ドラマのためのツールであって、ゾンビ対人間を期待するなってことですね。
Right. No solution, no relief, no catharsis. So we talked a little bit too much about zombies again. Let's talk about one topic that's been getting a lot of attention in the American media this week, Guantanamo Bay.
Guantanamo Bay?
Yeah, it's a military base in Cuba. So according to an NPR article from February 25th, President Obama wants to finally make good on one of his signature campaign promises, closing the detention facility at Guantanamo Bay, Cuba. However, the Republican-controlled Congress is very unlikely to go along.
ディテンションファシリティって収容所ってことですよね。
Yes, yes.
オバマがグアンタナモの収容所を閉鎖しようとしていると。
Exactly.
どういうことなんですか？そもそもキューバに基地なんてあったんですか？
So, according to the NPR article, the U.S. has leased Guantanamo Bay from Cuba since 1903, following the American victory in the Spanish-American War. The land belongs to Cuba, but the original agreement, known as the Platt Amendment, gives the United States complete jurisdiction and control over the base. A subsequent agreement in 1934 gave the U.S. the use of Guantanamo's in perpetuity unless the U.S. either unilaterally abandons the base or both the U.S. and Cuba agree to end the lease. Cuban leaders soared on that deal following the Communist Revolution and have steadily refused to cash the annual lease payments from the U.S. Treasury of about $4,000.
キューバとアメリカって去年国交回復したんですよね。
Right.
これなんか香港みたいにいつ返すとか決まってないんですか？
Right, it's not decided. And the reason is Guantanamo serves as a very strategic and good geographical military location that connects the United States and the Panama Canal.
じゃあオバマは基地を返すとは全然言ってなくて、この中にある収容所だけを閉鎖するって言ってるんですね。
Right, just the prison. Obama insists that keeping the prison open is, quote, contrary to our values. He says, it's been clear that the detention center at Guantanamo Bay does not advance our national security. It undermines it. And this is quite true. Keeping the prison open makes it easier for terrorists to recruit people. Look at the terrible things the Americans are doing to us. The plan, which has been on Obama's agenda since he took office in 2009, hinges on the transfer of between 30 and 60 detainees to U.S. soil and suggests several possible locations in South Carolina, Kansas, and Colorado. The rest of the 91 detainees at the prison could be sent to other countries. So Obama's public reason for wanting to close the facility is as such, but it has more to do with the inhumanity of the U.S. holding such a prison.
そんなに非人道的なことが行われてるんですか？
Yes, the prison was created after 9/11 to house terrorists, but soon came under fire because they used torture techniques to interrogate the prisoners.
トーチャーって拷問ですよね。
Yes. According to a torture report released by Senate Intelligence Committee in 2014, the CIA's post-9/11 detention and interrogation program was horrific. Detainees were subjected to rectal feeding, a process by which food or nutrients are pumped in through the anus.
このレポートですね。拘束者は直腸栄養補給を強制された。これは肛門から食物や栄養素を注入するものだ。直腸栄養補給は医学的に必要性のない時に行われた。
Detainees were told that they would never leave these black sites and that their families would be sexually assaulted or murdered.
拘束者はブラックサイドを決して離れてはいけないと命じられ、逃げ出せば家族に性的暴行を加えたり殺害したりすると脅された。 ブラックサイトってどういうことですか？
Well, the prisoners had no idea where they were, so the black site refers to the room they were being held in.
はいはい、確かにどこかよくわかんないですもんね。
Exactly, it's terrible.
Also, during an extended period of stress, an interrogator operated a power drill near a detainee.
長時間にわたる尋問中、CIA の調査官は拘束者の近くで電動ドリルを使ってみせた。
Also, detainees were waterboarded until they turned blue.
拘束者たちは血の気が引くまでウォーターボーディング水攻めを受けた。
Also, detainees were subjected to extended periods of isolation and confinement in a coffin-sized box.
強化尋問技術には長時間にわたる隔離や棺ほどの大きさの箱への監禁などが含まれる。これってあれですよね、ホームランドのあいつらですよね。
Yes,
あいつら
the guys from Homeland, yeah.
最悪ですね。
Yeah, pretty bad.
でもホームランドでもその手続きって大事にしてたじゃないですか、一応描写として。
Yes.
こんなことしていいんですか？
Well, Guantanamo is not under any jurisdiction, and prisoners have no rights. They're not protected by the U.S. Constitution.
だからわざとここに連れてきてるわけですね。
So as you can see, for obvious reasons, Obama wants to shut this prison down.
確かにテロリストがさらにアメリカを攻撃する理由には十分になりますよね。
That's why he said it undermines our national security, right? However, there are people who are against this decision, specifically Ted Cruz. So Texas Senator Ted Cruz warned about handing over the entire base in a debate this month on CNN. Cruz said, "One of the things I'm very concerned about is that Obama is emptying Guantanamo. He is releasing terrorists that our soldiers bled and died to capture. And I fear that by the end of this year, President Obama plans to give the Guantanamo Navy back to Cuba, which would be undermining U.S. national security interests profoundly."
続きましてミニコーナー今日の英単語。アルさん、これが本日のリストになります。
Alright, so here is this week's word list. Sheriff, an elected official in a county responsible for keeping the peace. Post-apocalyptic, relating to the time following a nuclear war or other catastrophic event. Depicted, to portray in words, to describe. Nuclear fallout, radioactive material propelled into the upper atmosphere following a nuclear blast. Detention, to imprison, hold captive. Amendment, an article added to the U.S. Constitution. Jurisdiction, the official power to make legal decisions and judgments. Perpetuity, the state or quality of lasting forever. Treasury, the funds or revenue of a state, institution, or society. Contrary, the opposite. Undermines, to lessen the effectiveness, power, or ability of something. Hinges, to depend entirely on. Torture, the action or practice of inflicting severe pain on someone as a punishment. Interrogate, to ask questions of someone closely, aggressively, or formally. Profoundly, extremely, very.
ゾンビ映画は社会風刺だって話がありまして、ジョージ・ロメロさんが最初にゾンビを発明した1作目のナイト・オブ・ザ・リビング・デッドっていう作品で、映画の最後でそのゾンビだらけの夜をくぐり抜けた主人公があっさり最後人間に殺されてしまうっていう描写があって、で本当に汚いのはゾンビじゃなくて人間だって話なんですけど、グアンタナモの拷問の話聞くと思いますよね。
Right, so the real enemy of humans is not zombies, but humans.
ウォーキングデッド見ざるを得ない。本コーナーでご紹介した画像や動画は番組ホームページ www.ameho.tokyo のリンクよりご確認いただけます。面白コンテンツはリスナーの皆様からも募集中。番組のお問い合わせページよりどしどしお送りください。
Thank you for joining us this week on American Hot Topics. The music in this program was brought to you by Mateen Jahanmuri and Aaron Randall.